What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with another episode of Here We Go Again. This will be our second to last episode. If you haven't seen my other ones, make sure you go check it out. The last two, I kind of explained how I'm going to be doing them going forward, but that's a whole different story. Speaking of a story, Cody Rhodes finishes his story and dethrones Roman Reigns. We get The Rock, Cena, and Undertaker returning at WrestleMania. We ain't got no Stone Cold, but that's tough, but all this and more in this episode of Here We Go Again. But before we get into this, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get it.
If you in there, nigga, I'm ghost.
But before we get into this, thumbs up, subscribe, as well as, granted, when I said this, it was already irrelevant. But if y'all know who Joey Swole is, it'll be basically like a toxic gym clip, and he'll stitch it together, and then he'll be talking he basically being like, you need to do better. That's one of his things he said. So it looked kind of like a fake video of Austin Theory and Justin Waller. They was in the gym, and then someone walked in front of the camera, and then he makes a response, and then Austin Theory makes a response, kind of try to cut a promo and shit, and then Joey Swole made a response and then talking about some, I'll see you at WrestleMania. Hold on, what we got going on? We about to have a match. Now the reason I said it's kind of irrelevant, when I'm doing the stream, when you're seeing this on YouTube, this stream has already happened. But night 2 is about to happen in 3 hours, and we're post night 1, obviously. But this is going to be going for Monday Night Raw. On the stream, it will end at WrestleMania night 1. And then I'll record off camera Collision in WrestleMania night 2. At first, I wasn't going to do Collision, but I'm like, let me separate the nights of WrestleMania. But we'll be starting with Monday Night Raw. Now, we get The Rock and Roman Reigns open up the show. First, The Rock comes out, says this whole spiel, and then Roman Reigns comes out. He's cutting a promo. He starts talking about family above everything. Then we start hearing loud yeet chants. He says, just like this, with the finger wave and everything, no yeet. And then it's thunderous boos. And then he says, and if you keep up with that, I'll leave. You see Paul Heyman kind of no. And then we get more yeet chants. So he in fact did not leave. Now, you know who did leave pertaining to Roman Reigns? A reporter who asked, no. He said, acknowledge me, and then she was like, boo. Then he said, leave. I'm not kidding. It's either she leaves or I leave. Okay, bro. I'm doing a little much, but whatever. And then we get New Day and DIY versus Judgment Day. Damian gets the pin for Judgment Day. And then it's announced in a backstage segment, Roman Reigns is leaving the show. But it's announced that he will induct Paul Heyman. Now, me personally, I feel like it, could have been CM Punk. But for the current fan base, it's going to be Roman Reigns. And we get Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. I put DQ question mark. There was interference. I don't ever remember hearing the bell ring, so who knows who won that match or if the match even ended. Lil Wayne performing at WrestleMania question mark. Wayne, if you're going to perform at the grandest stage of all, bro, you're going to have to make sure your voice is right. Are you still drinking lean, dude? I'll be honest, I was on the phone when this was happening. which is kind of funny. Sami Zayn, I I be getting phone calls every time your match is about to come on. Cause this match came on WrestleMania Night 1. I didn't do a reaction to it. And on this Monday Night Raw. Because I remember being on the phone, and then when I was talking to this person, I was talking to her about like dreads and stuff like that. Not in this conversation, but something we talked about in general. And I was like, see, I was talking about how they look. And I was like, Lil Wayne used to have good looking dreads. The one he has now, trash. Which you did on whatever that was, bro, performed 8 bars of a milli and then just walked down to the stage with Jey Uso. It was tough. It was hard to watch. And then speaking of kind of hard to watch, we get a Ivy Now and Maxine Dupree versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Ivy rolls up Indy. I don't remember if it was on this show or something else, but I was like, let me give her a chance. And then there's immediately a botch, like right after I said to myself, I don't remember if it was this show or not. We get a fired Drew McIntyre vignette. He's at a funeral, and you already know where this is going. Then he looks at the camera. He hits the mic, looks at the camera. He's like, look in my eyes. What do you see? I think he said CM Punk something Philly or whatever. It was obviously playing into CM Punk and the Cult of Personality first 2 lines of the song. We get Ricochet versus Ivar. Now there's a moment in this match where this dude Ricochet, at first I was doing something. Like I said, a lot of the times when I'm watching on one monitor and I'm like editing or uploading or doing something on the other monitor. So I just see, I don't know how big this dude Ivar is, pause, but I just see him in Ricochet's arm. So at first I said lifts Ivar. No, this man catches Ivar mid dive, fall away slam, and does a 450 to a huge pop. Not huge like Stone Cold returning or Dolph Ziggler cashing in or CM Punk returning, obviously, but like, it's a big pop. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching again for like 6 months. Every time Ricochet's music plays, I'm like, who is this? I'm thinking this is a returning star that I'm like, oh, I've been hearing about this person. Well, I have been hearing about Ricochet, but when your music played at the Royal Rumble, didn't know that was you. So it's Royal Rumble, the Gauntlet match, and then stuff with his matches with Judgment Day and Ivar, and then the Battle Royale on Friday Night SmackDown. That's the only time I've been hearing about Ricochet. Not hearing about, but like seeing Ricochet. And then in match, and the only time I seen him backstage, I think he talked to Adam Pearce once, and then he had a backstage segment with CM Punk. Andrade helps Judgment Day ? I knew it was going somewhere, but I knew that it wasn't going to be him and Judgment Day, but I didn't know exactly where it was going to go. When he was like, oh, you help out with LWO and you'll have a spot in the Judgment Day. And we'll be talking about that in a second when we get to WrestleMania. But we have Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch having their little... They can't wait till WrestleMania, even though it was like 5 days away from that Monday Night Raw. They have a little brawl. And then Pat McAfee, this is the first time I'm like, okay, I see you with... Bro, fan, chill out. I see you with the commentary. So he says he calls Pat McAfee a middle management stooge and says what do you say, control your show or get a handle on your show or something like that. He needs to hear this criticism the way that he fumbled so many free agents, bro. You lost Jade Cargill. You lost Braun Breaker. You're probably losing Carmelo Hayes. I mean, he was on SmackDown a couple times, but who else? Jade Cargill is probably like your biggest one because like who else do you have on Raw? You have Nia, Rhea, and Becky. That's it. All these other people, they be down below mid-card tag team. But on SmackDown, you already have oh, that's another one. You lost Naomi. And then SmackDown already has Bianca. I don't know when Charlotte Flair is returning. But yeah, you lost to so many free agents. You gotta hold that straight. We get Dakota Kai and Kabuki Warriors versus Shayna. Speaking of tag team, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Tegan Nox. There's moments in the match where it's like Zoe Stark was trying to get noticed, trying to do like some like you've never done these moves ever, and then try to like yeah, come on, yeah. She's like you're gonna get me up on this card. I need to be facing Rhea next. But Shayna, Zoe, and Tegan Nox, they get that W. We get Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa. Bloodline rules. Which is kind of funny. Because Bloodline waits until Solo Sikoa gets powerbombed through the table and gets hit with a curb stomp to finally pull up. Then Rock pulls up, and then Roman pulls up. And then they literally whip Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And like viciously, like they're whipping them for a good like couple minutes, bro. Not like one hit there, one hit there. Your turn, Roman. One hit there, one hit there. Stare at the hard cam. No. I don't know how long the segment was, but it was long. But and we got NXT. We get Axiom and Frazier versus LWO versus OC. Axiom and Frazier gets the win. The right team won, and I believe this is for the #1 contendership. JC Jane versus Fallon Henley. JC Jane gets the win. And then we have these little vignettes with Dragunov and Don have their little meetup before Stand and Deliver. Then we have Roxanne Lyra Valkyria segment. At the end of it, Roxanne gets thrown to a table. And then we get Obafemi versus Joe Gacy. Now, before as he's doing his entrance, Sean Spear pulls up with a chair. We know what our... Oh, they were on a pre-show. Okay. I was like, I just realized I didn't see that match. It was on a pre-show. I'm not watching the pre-show. The pre-show is about to start in 30 minutes for night 2. Especially since I'm trying to get through this because I still have other reactions to do before I even get to night 2. And Oba gets the win because it looks like he's about to finish the match anyway, but it was Gacy couldn't compete. And then he backstage segment, he asked for a match against Sean Spears. We get Blair Davenport versus Sol Ruka. Now, it could be possibly there have been times where she actually was on the show. This is probably the 4th week in a row where I couldn't bars. 4th week in a row where I wasn't able to watch it live, so I had to watch it on Hulu, and they cut a lot of women's matches, but they cut probably 30 minutes from the show. So it could have been that, but I said, Blair Davenport, where have you been? I have not seen her, and I'm thinking she's injured because it was like, oh, Nikita returns, and then she was there for a couple weeks, and then she's just gone again, and then I hear weeks after that when I'm like, oh, where has she been? Oh, she's injured. So I'm thinking Blair got the same treatment because that's been around the same time period that I seen you last. Because y'all were about to have y'all little, because it was Blair going after the championship, and then Nikita was going after Blair. So it was around that time period when they both stopped appearing on TV. And we get a roll-up pin by Sol Ruka. Like Dano said, I don't even know who you are. And then we get the little confrontation with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And I'm gonna be honest, Trick, that's the homie, that's my guy. Like, I don't know him, but usually when a heel says something, it's like, for instance, AJ Styles, you walked over my blah 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 and got the, bro, that's a L motivation, dude. That trash motivation. Now, granted, your motivation still kind of trash, Carmelo. I mean, it's nothing compared to the AJ Styles thing, like I just mentioned. But he was kind of, that's kind of a good, like, analogy that he used right there. Where he was looking at the titles like a girlfriend. He lost the NXT title, and then Trick lost the North American title. And instead of trying to get his girl back, he goes and tries to steal Carmelo's girl. Okay, that's a cool little delusional analogy right there, but that's all I could give you. And then that's all they give me for NXT. Now we got AEW Dynamite. Adam Copeland opens the show, puts over AEW because CM Punk did a whole entire phone. What are you doing? CM Punk did a whole entire interview, and probably like 40% of it was talking about things that was going on in AEW. I think things should have been said, but I don't think they should have been said on television or on Twitter. I don't know why y'all cry into, like, Sammy Guevara. It's like, AEW literally saved my life. Sammy, I don't care, bro. I simply don't care. I'm still watching. I like AEW. I want AEW to succeed. What? Oh, one of the last clips I made was talking about AEW, and it was talking about the attendance. I'm not someone who's like, ooh, hoo, ha, ha. I want y'all to do stuff to succeed. If not, we're going to get subpar WWE. That's not what I want to see. I stopped watching for that exact reason. Now there's two companies. Now, granted, TNA has always been in the background, but they've never really ever compared to WWE. Now, obviously, you understand, we got not even a decade versus, like, 70 years? Of course, you're not going to have the same stability as they do. But don't sit here and start having... Now you got to get called this now, bro. Don't have Edge get on my screen cutting promos, talking about this is the best locker room. Okay, they could be cool, bro, but kind of ironic. Some of the things y'all was talking, CM Punk was talking about, I literally, y'all seen, I did it when I said I went to my first wrestling show. My first wrestling show was AEW, not WWE, AEW. And I was talking with a friend, and like Tony introduced, he introduced the show, and he was talking about like certain things. And of fucking course I spilled my drink. I don't even know when I did that, dude. But I was like, yo, Tony Khan, I think he needs to put people in these certain positions. He needs someone to open the show. He needs someone to handle backstage incidents. Like, if he was a boss and he'd be like, do this, and like, I didn't want to do that, I'll be like, bro, Murphy, don't get on my face, dude. You're a nice guy, bro. You're a nice guy. People will walk over you. I'm sorry. A little side tangent there. But then he invites out Will Ospreay. He kept calling him Will Ospreay. That's tough. Then we get Will Ospreay versus Powerhouse Hobbs. It was a good match. But what wasn't so good about this match? I mean, not wasn't so good, but like wasn't good for Powerhouse Hobbs. Ospreay accidentally, he does a flip and accidentally lands on Powerhouse Hobbs' face. You can see it clear as day. They talked about it on commentary. Then he hits another move on Powerhouse Hobbs, and then it kind of sounds like he says, "I'm so sorry." You can clearly see that he's apologizing. I don't know what he says exactly verbatim, but it sounds like, "I'm so sorry." And we get Bryan Danielson versus Lance Archer. There's a moment where this dude, Lance Archer, used a crew member. I don't think it was a timekeeper. I don't know what his job was. But he grabbed him and slammed him on Bryan. And Bryan Danielson gets the win. It's an obvious win. You're not winning. I mean, you're not losing this match. You have to, like, y'all fought the same. Y'all are trying to prove yourselves. So y'all both fought big men tonight. And it's probably just going to be that until we get a dynasty. Not like big men, but like, oh, you fought this person? Well, I can fight someone similar to that. Or that same person. Jericho, he has his proposition for Hook. He's getting crazy boos. Man's getting booed out the building. It's like, it's full effect now. So heel turn needs to happen, or you just need to just chill for a little bit. I just think you need to chill for a bit, or go on a crazy heel run, and then get you 1 or 2 years left in AEW, maybe as a face, or you can continue to heel, and then get you 1 or 2 years in WWE and call it quits, bro. Call it quits. You've been doing this for 30 years. That's good enough, bro. You don't want to have okay, we're not even gonna get to that. But we get Jay White versus Billy Gunn. See, Billy Gunn, he's, oh no, I wouldn't say he's doing really crazy things like that, but he's not. I don't see him every week. And you've been, one of the last videos I made, you've been landing on your, okay, that was a couple videos ago. But it seems like every week when you're in a match, you land on your head in every match, bro. And usually be in the back of the head. That's worse. But Jay White versus Billy Gunn, we get a DQ win for Billy Gunn. And then we get Willow Nightingale. She cut in a little promo. They have the camera facing. So they're trying to show more that, hey, we have more of an audience. I think they were in Maine. And now granted, you can't see, you can see maybe 70% of it, so you can't see that last 30, but that's better than, some of the earlier things that you've seen. And she's cutting her promo, and then she's talking about her upcoming match. Stokely, is giving her props. And then Mercedes Moné comes out. Now look, I'm not really for all the super flashy stuff. So usually when I'm like saying something, it'd be like when I see her in The Mandalorian. Mandalorian reactions on the channel, by the way. Only for season 3 though. Unfortunately. But when she came out tonight, she was looking good, man. I tell you what, And that's all I'm gonna say about that one. We get the Young Bucks versus Best Friends. Pre-Best Friends L, like Orange Cassidy. We're kind of making a joke because you lost the title, and then one of the shows, like they were talking about, oh hey, basically when we got there it was Ring of Honor, and then it was Collision, and then they were gonna do some more Ring of Honor, and then they wanted us to like see an Orange Cassidy match. Like, bro, you're not Offspray, you're not Okada or someone who's like, I will stay for this. So I'm already tired, and also like some other things I had to attend to. So I'm like, are you really like, we're the person I went to, we're kind of like joking. It was like, man, you lost the title, like it's over now, like you're cooked, you're irrelevant. You lost the title and fell off. We're just joking around, but anyways, I say that to say you're losing this match. It is what it is. Matt almost kicked Sue. Now Sue, this is apparently Trent's mother. It's my first time seeing you, so I wasn't opposed to it. It would have been a very hillish thing to do. Speaking of hillish thing to do, after the loss, Trent Beretta turns heel on Orange Cassidy. I knew it. I knew it, because soon as it's kind of like when I was talking about Becky Lynch, and we'll be talking about Becky Lynch in a second. It's like by the time this goes up, what happened with Trent Beretta is probably what I think I predicted back in Royal Rumble might happen with Becky. But as soon as they put the close-up on him just looking super defeated, like they've been doing with Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble, and spoiler alert, at WrestleMania Night 1, I knew it was a wrap at that point. And we get Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa, #1 contendership. Damn, you can hear the stomach too. I gotta eat as well, man. That's tough. Thunder Rosa gets the win, so it'll be Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm at Dynasty. And then we have our contract signing with Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. Now, Samoa Joe, honestly, I like this comment better than when people try to, like, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But he basically hits him with a Diddy comment. And I like this one better than, you're never going to catch me saying no Diddy. It's no homo for life. Sorry. It is what it is. I'm not saying no Diddy unless I'm like saying it like in this context. No Roman Reigns, but if someone says that, I am not acknowledging them. I'm gonna pretend like that didn't even come out their mouth. Pause. You can say no homo or pause. That's it. That's all we're going with. But this dude Samoa Joe, he think he wizards and warlocks and shit, but this dude signing the blood oath. Bro, you could just use a pen to sign the contract, dude. And don't get lead poisoning trying to put the pen in your blood. Y'all hear that, bro? Y'all hear my stomach just going crazy right there? You know, hold on, SmackDown. Okay, this is what I'll do. I'll do SmackDown on the stream, and then I'll do all the WrestleMania stuff and Collision off camera, and then add it into like the whole entire video. We get the Kevin Owens show. Logan Paul's at the WrestleMania Stadium. And so they're like, oh, it's just right across the street. So they go across the street to go get him. And then Theory Waller are following behind. We get the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Listen, we'll talk about it. Hopefully I remember when we talk about it in the WrestleMania Night 1 video. But it's not like a moment where I'm like, that looks like a botch, and people are like, it's not a botch or whatever it may be. But this one just, it looks, if it's not a botch, it just looks goofy altogether. Like overtly goofy. But this dude, Angel, like, he must have been grabbed by an angel and thrown over the top rope because he just eliminated himself. But Bronson Reed gets the win. I figured it was either gonna be Bronson Reed or Ricochet. And when Ricochet was eliminated, my third choice was Ivar, and then those were my two choices. Especially since those were the only two we got entrances for. They came back, and it was Bronson Reed, and then we got Ricochet, and then the match started. No, we also got Omos. But come on, bruh. I've been watching for 6 months. This is the second time I seen him. Only in the Royal Rumble. You're not winning this, bro. We get Zelina Vega versus Elektra Lopez. And Elektra Lopez gets the win. And then I believe they start doing some jump. I was looking confused because I was like, "Was this not a?" But then I had to remember. Oh, this was to set up the match. So basically, Dragon Lee got jumped. So they're like, "Oh, he can't compete," and so they start jumping Ray, and then like Dominic is there, and then instead of being like, "Hey, jump him," and then like afterwards in the backstage, like, "Hey, why didn't you do anything?" If he doesn't do anything, they're like, "Hey, go get him now, bro." If you're pushing me, like I'm like, bro, don't touch me. Whether I'm on their side now is irrelevant, but now you're an enemy of me. I don't care what you're asking me to do. If you're like pushing me and slapping me around, I'm not, unless it's something where it's like, "Oh, hey, go in this place because this explosion's about to go off and you're gonna die," like, unless it's something like that. But if like, "Hey, I want you to do this for me," and then I pause while doing it and you push me around, I'm not doing it, and now I gotta slap you up. So why antagonize him before he turns on you? Now it's not a proper like, not really a face turn. He wasn't really anything just yet, but like now he's aligned with Rey Mysterio. So we get Bianca, Naomi, and Jade. They're basically in the ring to kind of cement the match between them and Damage Control. But, excuse me. But they came to the ring dressed as cowgirls. Now, you pull up dressed like that, like, I don't want y'all cowgirl or what. Alright. Let me chill. Jade and Bianca, I have no excuse. I mean, you look good, but I have no excuse. Naomi, I got an excuse, you know? Talking to old girl, she, you know what I'm saying? I was just talking about hair on Monday Night Raw. We talking about hair, so I pulls up a picture of Jimmy, and then she start talking about he look good. So I'm like, okay, you know? So now it's kind of like the return, you know? It's kind of like my receipt to her, you know? So unfortunately, you had to catch I think a positive stray, you know? That's basically me saying you look good, but it was a stray like okay, let me just, moving on. We get New Catch Republic versus Theory and Waller. Judgment Day jumps them post-match. You don't even want to try to like be cool with this heel group and then turn on them at WrestleMania. That's why they that's why they took your titles, bae. Spoiler alert. Then LA Knight, he goes to the ring, he cuts a promo. It's probably like a less than 5-minute segment, you know, trying to promote his match for WrestleMania. And the highlight of this whole entire segment is this man choking on his gum. And when he did it, he sounded like Donald Duck or whatever. Now, I forgot who it was. It was someone, I think they were in the ring. Someone was in the ring chewing gum. And I'm like, how do you even, bro? I would not even risk that. Cutting a promo, or in the ring, gum is getting thrown in the trash can. If I miss the trash can in the locker room, or there's no trash can at Gorilla, I'm spitting that bitch on the ground. I am not going out to the ring with gum in my mouth. Like, if I had gum in my mouth right there, when I said that sentence, that could have sounded so terrible right there. I'm just thinking about, because he started choking on the gum. He made a noise and then looked at the camera. I swear it looked like something out of like a comedy set or a comedy movie, bro. It was hilarious, bro. And then for our main event, so it's like Solo, you know, you got 2 main events on Raw and SmackDown. They're like, oh, well, we left you out the card. Have you even really had any match besides anything family related and this Seth Rollins match? Well, I mean, you did go against John Cena, so I guess I'll shut up. Never mind. And we get Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa in the main event. No contest. Jimmy interferes. But you can tell that they were waiting for the cues for the music or for the cheers if they ran out to no music. Because they're setting up for the Samoa Spike they're setting up for the Samoa Spike, and Solo Sikoa is just kind of like looking at Jay, looking at the thumb, and then let's do it again. And then they finally pull it up. Like, they had to like put in the music. They're probably backstage like, the music won't play. And then it was like, okay, just run out there. And as they're running out there, it was like, oh, we got it to work. Okay, slowly fade the music in. But what faded into my view was Seth Rollins in another trash fit, looking like a dollar store pimp. I don't know where you're getting these outfits from, bruh. Like, I swear it's anytime I try to defend something, they just double down. I remember the first moment it happened. Game and channel description down below. Call of Duty World War II. Anytime, like, I'm like, okay, I'll defend the game. It'll be some stupid thing that happens, and I'm like, why are y'all doing me like this? I'm defending you, bro. So I'm like, oh, some of the outfits look kind of cool. Then weeks in a row, appearances in a row. Trash fit. You kept it going during WrestleMania night 1. Hopefully night 2 is something different. Hopefully it's some cool shit, dude. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame as well. I mean, RVD was in attendance. We got a whole bunch of, people that we haven't seen for a minute. Kurt Angle. But Heyman carried the show. I didn't watch the full thing. But yeah. So I'm in the stream here. But if you're watching this video, I guess I'll see you in a second. Alright, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been like a few days. That stream was Sunday. That stream was Sunday evening type thing. Bro, it's Thursday night. Like, there's a few more hours left in Thursday. Literally. But anyways, we're starting from NXT Stand and Deliver. We get Axiom and Fraser versus the Wolf Dogs for the NXT Tag Team titles. Braun Breaker ends the match with a spear. The Wolf Dogs retain. See, it's like I can't even say, oh, going forward XYZ, because now when I'm doing this part, I already seen Raw after WrestleMania. I seen NXT, and I seen AEW Dynamite, and the whole brawl-in incident. We're gonna get to that in the next episode. Yeah, so yeah, we still got a couple more shows until like we get all the things that we need for next episode. But has some great spots and not so great transitions to spots. There's moments where like it was kind of like you can see like they'll be like trying to, oh, okay, wait, no, we got to do this and this. Okay, now we're in sync. Okay, and then wait, no, and then your arm goes here, and then it wasn't all the time, but it was noticeable a few moments. But Wolf Dogs retain. We get a little backstage segment. We get a metaphor in cowboy jerseys, and at first it didn't even click for me. I'm like, oh, they got him dressed up, and then I'm like, wait, I didn't even think about the teams and shit like that, bruh. Especially since I don't even be watching sports like that, but still. We get Dijak versus Josh Briggs versus Obafemi. Now I'm gonna be honest. I was not excited going into this match. This match has surprised me. For instance, there was this one moment where Dijak is on the top rope, and outside ringside, we have Oba sitting on like a office chair type thing. Well, it is office chair, but you know, outside the ring. And then Josh Briggs choke slams Dijak onto Oba. This was like one of the this is one of the bigger spots of this WrestleMania weekend. There's one that we're gonna get to later on. Speaking of moments, we get Obafemi. He lifted Dijak and Briggs. Now, this is not, we just talked about Axiom Fraser. This is not them. This is not Rey Mysterio, or this is not, this is not Daniel Bryan or / Bryan Danielson. This is not one of those. Those are big fellas. Straight lifted them. And then not like choke slam and then they're helping him. No, on top of his head. But we get a power bomb on Dijak. Dijak gets power bombed onto Josh Briggs for the pin. Suspenseful match. They had a whole bunch of close 2 calls or close 3 calls or 2 calls, whatever. And Oba retains. We get JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame. Too many, y'all about to start a rap group or something? Versus Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley. Crowd was dead as hell until Kalani hits a moonsault outside the ring. And until it was Thea versus JC. Before that, crickets, bruh. Crickets. But Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley end up winning after Thea makes Izzy tap out with the Kimura lock. But even though they won the match, why after the match did Fallon Henley just look so defeated? And this is I already watched NXT that the week after, so like there wasn't anything in there that said like it was a storyline. So it might have been what I was thinking when I just got the clips right before recording this was it was kind of like an awkward thing. Thea was on like one someone was pointing to Kalani Jordan and one had Thea Hell on their shoulders, and then she was just kind of to the side, kind of just like, yeah, I'm here. We get Roxanne Perez versus Liv Valkyria. Roxanne booed, and she was booed towards the beginning, and then got cheered and had her name chanted throughout the match, like later in the match. And she ends up making Lyra tap out. Good job, Roxanne. You know, I rock with Roxanne. You know what I'm saying? NXT rock. Well, let's see. Let me go down my list in no particular order. Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Roxanne, Cora Jade, Kalani Jordan, Fallon Henley, Kiana James, Thea Hale, and like, you know, you can't spam her, you know? She's like something with a lot of onions or something with a lot of garlic. You can't have too much, you know? I mean, garlic, that's a different story. But for the sake of your breath, you can't have too much. And then our main event, we get Tony D'Angelo versus Ilya Dragunov. Now, we're going to be talking about Dragunov next week. Because, listen, hold on. Now, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that next week. But, in this match, there's a moment we get... Now, I'm not really... I mean, I don't dislike it, but I'm not really the biggest fan of the H-bomb move. I mean, it looks devastating. I'll give it that. Like, that's why I say I'm like, I don't dislike it. It's just, for me, I don't know. I'm just looking at, like, let's say I'm in the match with him, like, and I'm no the wrestler. How I gotta take that? Do I just gotta get hit, bruh? That's what it looked like. I just gotta get hit. Now, maybe it's just, like, the move is so good that it looks like you don't even have to sell it. You're actually getting hit. But that's besides the point. We get an H-bomb. He's standing on the barrier, and he hits an H-bomb on Tony D'Angelo, who's laid out on the Spanish announce table. Now, we should have known what time it was as soon as they started, oh, to my colleagues at the Spanish announce table. Yep. We're going to get at least 2 to 3 per show of that Spanish announce table getting destroyed. And it's like they always go for that table. It's like the regular announcers like, man, I'm so sick of, like, I got my beverage right there, and then this wrestler just threw it all over to the side. I'm gonna be honest, if I was doing the commentary, I'd be mad as hell too. Like, bro, I'm only 9 minutes into the second part, and like I'm somewhat parched, man. I gotta have my beverages. But we get a pinfall win. Dragunov retains. And in our main event, we get Mello versus Trick Williams. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. This dude Mello pulled up with his get up. This motherfucker naked Killmonger. You didn't. Sorry, bro. You did not get the call from Marvel. You're not Michael B. Jordan. You are not him. That is funny. That was unintentional. That was unintentional. I was just thinking about the Jadeon video. That's tough, man. I'm never gonna be able to react to Gideon video, man. But when he went like with the bowling video, he was like, "I'm him." She was like, "You are not him." But then that goes with your gimmick, so that's kind of funny how that just went, that how that just played out. But let's see. But yeah, Trick ends up winning. I suspect sprain breaking. I don't know if this is a first time thing or this has always been a thing. I'm suspecting that's gonna be Carmelo Hayes' and Ilya Dragunov's last appearance on NXT. They might like sporadically every now and then. But, and I don't mean like Natalya where she doesn't do well on Raw or SmackDown. It's just like, okay, we'll send you to NXT for a little bit. I mean, like, actually, I don't know how often Becky Lynch went to NXT when she won the championship the last time. But now for WrestleMania Night 1, Coco Jones does the national anthem. She's looking good, you know what I'm saying? And then Triple H welcomes us to WrestleMania. For our first match, we get Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Now listen, I'm not really like a hater of, but like, I'm not too crazy on Becky Lynch. Like people who, like for instance, Charlotte Flair, I acknowledge her her talent. I do, you know, obviously, you know, they've been spamming her with being on top all the time. Kind of ironic with the match that we're talking about with Rhea Ripley, but with like Becky Lynch, like out of like all the people who's like, oh, these are the women of WWE, like she's someone who's like, oh yeah, she's good, but like, I mean, she's not one of, character wise or in ring wise, that's like, yeah, that's the person I'm rooting for. And we get but the reason I brought up Becky is like they had a clean entrance little transition thing when they had her talking about her book, reading excerpts from her book, and then they had like the CGI book, and then had her like walk through it. That was kind of clean, you know. Usually, it's rare when we get like a cool little CGI thing. They Drew McIntyre swords. I think Roman Reigns has one of the best ones, and the Miz. Miz has the little like premiere thing, and then Roman Reigns has himself doing this little type shit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna kind of skim through the ones I reacted to. Make sure I go check out my reaction to the WrestleMania night 1 and 2. I did 3 matches each night, but I'm gonna specifically be talking about the ones, especially the ones I really paid attention to that I didn't react to. Now this one, it's like I got a couple minutes in, I was like, I kind of regret not reacting to this one. We got our oh yeah, Rhea retains, by the way. But we have our tag team ladder match. 6-pack, whatever you want to call it. Six teams went in there, 2 titles. DIY comes out like DX. And so we get DIY cosplayed as DX. But possibly when this short goes up, Fallout reactions or on the Patreon, they'll get to the channel eventually. And Fallout gameplays in the game channel description down below. But why was Damian Priest and Finn Balor looking like they was doing some like Fallout cosplay mixed with like Judgment Day? I mean, they kind of go together a little bit. Now, Finn Balor, a stretch a little bit, but like, change the color palette. Damian Priest, you straight out of Fallout, man. You straight out of Fallout. And we get a moment where we get this once again, R-Truth carrying a pay-per-view match. Had him in a Royal Rumble. Now we got him at WrestleMania. He get in his hot tag again. Does his little Cena spots. You can't see me. 5-knuckle shuffle. Hits the attitude adjustment of Finn Balor. And then, listen, he's an overachiever. Not only is he gonna later grab the titles for Raw. Technically, he should get both titles. May as you cool and all, but you gonna have to just be there, bruh. He gonna have to hold both titles, bruh. Cause he got the pinfall win. And then we get a little, skull crusher finale. I don't know R-Truth's move, but they did a little combo. And then, they came out dressed like DX. So DIY, they had to hit a Sweet Chin Music, and then a pedigree variant. Was it Pat McAfee was like with some sauce on it. But DIY, they weren't finished with the cosplaying because they thought they were gonna be Dudley Boys, I guess. So they had their little get the table moments. And then we get ECW chants. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. DIY and Awesome Truth kind of carried this match. New Day, I remember, if I didn't just get the clips right then and there, I would remember absolutely zero spots. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, I only remember y'all because y'all won the SmackDown. I mean, if you want to call them the SmackDown because you ate out, no, okay. I only remember y'all because y'all won the SmackDown championships. Judgment Day because y'all previously were the champions. Well, y'all did have some spots, but that was specifically in interactions with Awesome Truth, specifically R-Truth. But oh, my bad. I skipped a part. Alright, so Awesome Truth and DIY decide to split the titles. So they're like, oh, you get one and we'll get one. Justin Waller and Austin Theory are like, nah, we need them SmackDown championships. They grab them. See, if I was them, they just took both teams out. Hey, you go up one ladder, I go up the other ladder. But they not thinking smart. They not thinking. So they deserve to not have two titles. Granted, I don't like unified titles. You already know how I'm rocking, man. But back to DIY and Awesome Truth having the most spots. Here's another DIY moment. We get a tornado DDT. So they're on the edge of the ring. They're on the apron. And they hit a tornado DDT onto a table, like spiked onto a table outside of the ring. Now, me personally, I don't know if I could perform that move. If I was the person given a DDT, I guess taking that DDT, no sir. And then we get at first, from first glance, when I first like looked at it, because I'm already like, oh shit. So I'm writing it down, and I'm like, oh, they're about to, I thought it was a sumo drop at first, because I was just kind of like writing as I was like looking at the screen. Off the top of the ladder. But speaking of a ladder, now it's like a thing of that I was told in theater, where like, if you have a set and there's a door, you got to make sure you close it, because if you leave it open, everyone's gonna pay attention to it. So for a good at least a minute or two, I just see the ladder just wobbling one leg. It's like that dog that has three legs. That's what it was looking like a little bit. And so Damian Priest goes to climb up the ladder. One of the refs tries to warn him, "Hey, Priest, get a different ladder." You can hear it clear as day. This was the same ref that in that clip when John Cena was calling, and then she was calling, they were screaming at the top of their lungs. She's like, "Priest, get a different ladder." She tries to get his attention, grabs his leg. I don't know what he says, but he kind of brushes her off. I'm guessing he's probably thinking, okay, after the spot, or he just was just completely not even paying attention to anything she was saying. But they go up. They have a boo boo ash choke slam, and so he finally changes the ladder. Then Truth gets the Raw titles after like JD tries to pull up, and then he gets thrown through. Like, bro, JD, you can stick to the side, dude. Wasn't excited to see this one, but I loved it. And then we get Rey and Andrade versus Santos and Dom. Carlito heel turn. Maybe that'll be on SmackDown tomorrow night when I'm recording this. Rey and Andrade. Something at double crossbody. Oh, electric chair double crossbody. It was something crazy. What was it? I don't remember, bro. I have to look at that again. It was something wild. I don't know if it was he had Rey on his shoulders, and I think maybe he had Rey on his shoulders, and I think they're trying to do something else. The heels tried to come through and like stop it, and it was like, okay, then we'll do this. He had Rey on his shoulders, and then they did double cross bodies. I think it was something like that. It looked insane. That's all I remember. But Rey and Andrade win. We get Jey Uso versus Jimmy. Jey wins. I'm not even gonna like. Lil Wayne was there for 3 seconds. His voice was on no sir. His dreads were on no sir. He did like 10 seconds of a milli, and then next thing you know, it's just me, Us. Day one ish. And then Lil Wayne was kind of doing ad-libs every now and then walked to the ring with Jey Uso, and I was at like, why were you even there, bro? Hopefully they cut you a check, because I don't know what you were doing there, bro. Like, unless you're just there and it's like, oh, okay, you might as well do this. And it's like, well, I like WWE, so I guess I'll do it. But this is what I will say. I'll say this about Jimmy and Jey at WrestleMania 40. If someone took a shot for every super kick, I'm not even gonna put a super kick and spears together. Took a shot for every super kick performed in this match, they would die. I don't care how much liquor you put down. I don't care if you're the biggest alcoholic and like you can just take anything, pause. You're rest in peace. After this match, if you took a shot for every super kick, you're done for. Then we get Jade, Bianca, and Naomi versus Damage Control. W entrance mid-match. The match was mid. The match was indeed mid. I regret filming this one over the tag team ladder match. It wasn't it wasn't until like, I don't know when it was. I think it was like I got a little bit in. I don't even remember. But I was just thinking, oh, it's probably gonna be a moment where Jade gets the hot tag. Basically, when Jade tags in, that's when the match has less than 2 minutes left. She's going to perform her little moves, beat this person up, then beat that person up. Signature, finisher, pin. I already know what time it was. I was like, oh, maybe, just maybe. No. And we get Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the IC title. Hey, this is how you know I'm not capping when I write these down. I put pre-Sammy L. I thought Mans was losing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought maybe we can get like a Sammy heel turn after this. No, sir. And then for our main event, this one is also in my reaction. We get Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. But before this match even began, we already know Roman. Now let's let's just go down in order. First, Cody Rhodes pulls up. He goes through his little elevator. Goes down. Whoa! Goes down. Walks down to the ring. Another whoa! Samantha's in the ring, and y'all, hey, people in Philly said it was cold as shit. She's still in the ring. I know she was in that bit freezing. Goes over, hugs his mom. Oh, here's this belt. Here's this weight belt. The American Nightmare. Da-da-da. Say hey to this person. Hey to that person. Gets in the ring. Hype up the fans. Come on, come on. Samantha just sitting there with the mic just. Then Seth Rollins comes out, goofy outfit, looking like Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element. Whatever that outfit is, must be patched. It needs to be in the next patch update. I don't know why 2K decided to put the nah, but yeah, that outfit was trash. It's like ever since I said, oh, I actually like some of his outfits, then you just decide to pull out the most disgusting looking outfits I've ever seen in my whole entire life, bro. Don't ever wear that again. But yeah, it comes out. Whoa. Does this little, over the top theatric entrance. Samantha's still in the ring. The Rock come out. Not only does he, does a big grand entrance, bro has like a rebooting the timeline cutscene waiting for him. What are we doing? I know she was caught out there. No jacket, nothing. She has to do her job right now. Then this man emerges from hell like he's Kane, bro. I was like, oh, I did not know Kane was in this match. I didn't know it was a handicap match. But it was The Rock apparently. And then, oh no, it's the Brahma Bull. Then he's sitting there posing. Like, bro, we don't. So I know Samantha in there. I'm just like, oh God, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm a fan and you doing this to me. Rock pulls up, does his little, okay. Even starts talking shit to, hey, ref, you get him. Da da da. Ref has to back them up. Does his little posing. Roman Reigns, besides, he got a pose with the championship. He's the only one who didn't necessarily, besides posing with the championship, like I said, who just walked. But you know him, his walk speed, it beyond snail. You know what I'm saying? I was about to call him Gary for a second. But at least he moved. So it was a good... It was almost 20 minutes. Samantha was in the ring, freezing. No jacket, no nothing. Just in that suffering. Sorry. But there's a moment where wow. You're serious. I got the whatever. I was wondering why I had this as a clip. No. I was supposed to get a clip for this moment right here. There's a moment where The Rock was like, "You count, you're fired." The Rock, you know The Rock. The final boss doesn't fuck around. And when it said doesn't fuck around, the censor was completely late, bro. Whoever be doing censors for Peacock, they must be stopped. It will be their last day, you know. I'll be honest, I didn't even pay attention to Collision. I was gonna watch it, and then we hear, oh, we're doing this at all. We're releasing this all in on Dynamite, and I was like, you know what? Let me just check out. Whatchamacallit, if there's any matches I want to see. Nope. Okay, keep it pushing. Now we got WrestleMania Night 2. We open up with Seth versus Drew. Almost Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan situation. If you haven't seen it, go check out my reaction. Seth loses. Drew antagonizes Punk. Punk attacks Drew. Damian cashes in. So we have title change after title change right there. We get the Final Testament versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I'm gonna be honest, this was the match I was least excited to see on the whole entire WrestleMania card. Yeah. This was the one I was least excited to see. Be honest, bruh. There's no one who had this as their most excited to see. Snoop says, this looks like big business. When there was no interest, it looks like big business. I don't know if he did that intentional or he was just, a little shout out to, his cuss. Bubba Ray, special guest referee. Quick match. Because I for sure was like, oh, okay. I was doing something real quick. I was like, all right, then start the match, and then I'll do this, and then after I do this, then I'll, pay more attention. The match was already over. I'm like, damn. And we get LA Knight versus AJ Styles. AJ's new themes, trash. Oh yeah, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits won. But LA Knight, his new theme is trash. I say AJ Knight? I said AJ Knight. AJ Styles. New theme is trash, must be patched. I don't know why y'all decided to change that. We get Randy Orton versus KO versus Logan Paul. First they double team. And then so Randy's about to set up for the punt kick. And then a prime bottle comes in for the save. And then they're trying to do like some big, how Solo Sikoa you know how Solo Sikoa always tries to come in for the save and then pulls out the hood like he's a different family member? Bro, you did this 30 pay-per-views in a row, bro. We know it's you. You can just wear a big t-shirt that says, it's me, Solo Sikoa. I'm here to interfere in the match. We know it's you, bro. So I'm like, bro, it's KSI, bro. We already know what time it was. No. It's... I even put Solo Sikoa? No. They got speed in here. So my first thought is like, okay, what do they have him doing? Because this is not a man you can trust on television, on PG television, bruh. Now you have more, you're a little more lenient with pay-per-views than you are with television, where it's like, okay, you have to do this. But they're doing it mainly for to keep their PG rating. So I already knew he was gonna be. It was just a moment of what he was gonna say, and when he was gonna say it. I'll be honest, I thought he was gonna throw some slurs. So what he did right there, that's tame. This man dropped like 10 F-bombs within 5 seconds. Pushed Randy. And you could just tell, like, Randy was trying to play into it, but he seemed, pissed. This man sent him across, like, he went from one side of the ring to the completely other side of it. Like, he went from where Pat McAfee is, because it was Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, Corey Graves. He went from Pat McAfee all the way over to the Spanish announce table. He went 2 tables down, plus some, because it's not, like, right next to each other. Oh, yeah, and we already know. Oh, yeah, and then Randy instantly clears off the announce table, and it seemed like he was trying to hurry up before this kid did anything else that he wasn't supposed to do, because he was not supposed to drop them F-bombs back to back. You're not The Rock, bro. Sorry. Hits an RKO, and this dude's like, I'm sorry. Some of that he's playing into it, but some of that is like him for real. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have cussed. They told me multiple times, don't say this, don't say that, and I thought I could just do what I wanted. RKO someone at the announce table. But before he does that, he got a troll. He hits the barking emojis right back. Michael Cole talking about something. The dog is dead. But then later in the match, we get the pop-up powerbomb reversed into RKO. And when that happened, I already knew that I was like, it's going to be a pop-up power. He's going to reverse it to RKO. And then Logan pushed Randy off to pin Owens. He pushed him off. I don't know why Randy, didn't even attempt to get back in the ring to try to break the pin. Logan won, and he's just outside the ring like he just got hit with a massive tack. Are you training? Like, is your wrestling career coming to an end? You're training to be a ref now, Randy? Like, what's the deal? Because the refs, they be like this. Falling out from a little flick. Like, what are we doing? Then we get Io Sky versus Bayley. Besides singing her theme, crowd was dead until like the last 5 minutes of the match. But you deserve it, Bayley. She got the win. Roman versus Cody. Emotional, beautiful. Make sure I go check that reaction out, man. And that's it for this episode of Here We Go Again. Now, next episode will be the last episode, and then we'll just do them every so often after post big pay-per-views, whether it's specifically WWE, but maybe I might check out a AEW pay-per-view. But y'all let me know y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned for the next one, and I'm out. Peace.